Let's talk camera work on volleyball. All right, so here's my, my beautiful drawing of a volleyball court within the gymnasium. There are stands here, right? Below cameras 1 and 2 are the announcers at center. So again, like basketball, 1 is the game camera. Again, it's a wide shot, pan and tighten up, pan and tighten up. So that's that game, that one camera. Again, watching your framing above, your headroom. You don't have to make sure that the ball will go really out of frame. So don't worry, it's coming back down. So you don't have to zoom so far out that the play is way too big, right? So wait for it. You can still keep your framing. We all know the ball's coming back down. All right, 2, which is a tight follow. Right, and you are basically staying with the server, ball, it's back and forth, but it's a fairly tight shot, it's head to toe, give yourself a chance, but if you feel like in the middle of, on stoppages, you want to get a little tighter, that's cool. Feel free to make those moves. This is what we want you to do, make moves and create movement in the show. Camera 3 now is not like the basketball slash, it's actually behind the end zone. So you can see all of the court, 4 similarly like that. So you can see, and these make good replays. You can tighten up a little bit for the game action. That's a great replay, especially when spiking comes down and it hits the floor and somebody goes flying for the ball and they end up losing it or however they do. They dig it out. 5 and 6 are handhelds. 5 is shooting this side of the court, 6 is shooting this side of the court. So the main cutting on something like this, volleyball is not really like basketball. You've got 1 is your wide shot following play, and the director should be on 1 most of the time. When this play is made and somebody gets a point, he's now got, or the director now has 5, 6 for close-ups of play, and 2 for the player that made the spike or made the point, right? So 2 is always going to stay with the player that made the point, all right? And now 3 and 4, so what happens is, point is made, and both teams will group and give themselves high fives and congratulate themselves regardless of whether they got the point or not. They'll huddle up. And if this team got the point, somebody is going to come back to serve the ball for the next point. Now I'd like to see the cut to 4 who's shooting a face shot, okay? And believe me, you're going to just be zooming out and they're going to be coming right at you. So you need to zoom out while they come at you. We want that face shot because the next shot is going to be 5 head to toe, 6 head to toe, right? So of the server. All right, so if he's coming back, 6 is going to get a head-to-toe shot. I love this shot because it's field level and it's right in front of you and you can feel like you're right on the court. So now the player throws the ball up and the director will cut to 1. So it's a pretty simple equation. If the point's made over here, the director will cut to 5 or 6, maybe 4, maybe 3, get a couple of shots in, your team that got the point, the team that lost the point, and then now you're going to cut to the person coming out who's going to serve the ball, becomes a tight shot, right? You're following them out, but they're walking right to you. So you're following them out and zooming, at which point now the director, when they turn around, is either cutting to 5 or cutting to 2 head to toe. And 2 can get a nice hit. The 2 is a good bailout. He's always going to have it, right? Sometimes 5 and 6, because they're handheld, they get a little stuck because, and this is a long shot, so there's a tendency of being a little bit shaky, and they may be moving around. That's important that you make sure that you don't hold, as a director, you don't screw 5 and 6 because they're getting wide shots or tight shots. Similarly, in basketball, 6 can get the coaches, 5 can get the coaches, 3 can get the big bench shot, 4 can get the big bench shot, right? So find your shots. Everybody has an assignment, and you need to consider what the other cameras are doing so that you can provide an alternate shot to the director. All right? Oh, one more thing. Substitutions. So players come on the court. Somebody's leaving the court. Okay, so, and sometimes it's multiple substitutions. This is same as in basketball. In basketball, they have to come and hit a bench and tell the official timer or the official scorekeeper that they're coming in. So camera 2 will notice this, and camera 2 can say substitution. But in general, camera 2's keeping an eye, basketball and volleyball, as to who's coming out. And 2 always brings out the player. Okay, so this is on a whistle, right? And similarly, when this, 2 can shoot the player coming on. All right, now I guarantee you the player that's leaving is going to come off the bench, or come off the court, and walk down the bench. He's going to get high fives, low fives. His coach is going to give him and her a hard time, telling them that they need to smarten up. Similarly here and here. So who gets the player coming off who's either happy and ecstatic and taking a break, or if he's upset because he's screwing up in the play? 4 will always get this shot. 3 will always get that shot. And you can see it, right? 2 brings the player on, cut to 4, players are coming off. Similarly, the same thing on the other side. And then now we've got a serve, okay, which 5 or 6 has got their serve. It's all simple, like everybody provides a different shot and a different framing, and we're gonna have everything covered. And it's up to you to, as camera people, to make sure that you get those shots for your director. The director can't direct fast enough to get all those shots in. Sometimes there's storylines and whatnot, and he's got an idea of what he wants to talk about, but in play, these things happen so quickly that it's really up to you to get the shots for the director.